Wake up with the sunrise, laptop on the sand. Dreaming of a school drive, build it hand in hand. Some of us with the blueprint, wisdom in the flow. Keep it
What's
simple,
up,
keep it steady,
everybody?
let the people grow.
All right. I don't know how to slowly take that down, but what's up, community builders? So today is going to be huge because we're going to be breaking down the exact strategies that you need to grow your communities, whether you're on Skool, you're on GoHighLevel, you're on Circle. The platform does not matter. These strategies are universal and they work. So if you're just getting started and you want a clear, actionable step-by-step strategies to help you grow your community, or if you already have a community and you've been struggling to get traction, then you absolutely want to stick around for this one because it's going to be awesome. And here's what we're going to be covering today that could completely transform your community growth. So first of all, we're going to break down the simple formula that you need to understand if you want to grow your community. Then we're actually going to reveal what I believe is the number one thing that you have to have if you want to grow your community fast. And then I'll give you 3 quick win strategies that you can implement starting today to get your first or next few members. Okay. And then we're going to break down the most effective strategies that the top school communities are using to currently crush it and grow their community super fast. And then last but not least, I'm going to actually peel back the curtain and we're going to show you what's actually working for us right now to grow our communities. And we'll show you some tools that we're using to streamline the process and make it a whole lot faster. So this is going to be a fun one, Jeff. What do you think about today's topic?
Man, this is the key right here, right? I mean, this is like where the rubber meets the road. This is what everybody needs to be focusing majority of their attention on. I think we can get so caught up sometimes on, worrying about delivering a great product and all these other things. But the bottom line is, if you don't have anybody to speak to, there's no one in your community, then all of that doesn't really matter. So this is the starting point. So I'm excited for it. I think this will be an absolute big game changer for a lot of people who'll just do what we're going to share with them today. So excited for it.
Yeah, I also think it's like one of the biggest bottlenecks for communities. A lot of people are like, why am I not growing? Well, most of the time you're not driving enough traffic. So hopefully we'll give you some strategies today that'll help you with that. So before we get into the main discussion today, let's talk about some of the biggest wins that we saw to this week in our boot camp. Anything that's kind of jumped out this week to you with our community builders?
The biggest thing that I'm seeing is like coming live each week. There's like this accountability aspect of it where people know they're showing up and they want to come and they were asking for wins and they don't want to be the person without the win. So I feel like they're doing the work and I'm excited because, not that we should be motivated or have external reasons to get our work done, but I think there's this accountability factor that's making a huge impact. And then of course, having people get their first sales and having people consistently grow, and all those pieces are as awesome as well. But there's something about this accountability that I feel is just making people do more work, and maybe it's the competition we're running through it, I guess. But that's exciting to me to see people just actually buckling down and getting things done and checking the things off their list so that they're actually building a real business. So super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I get chills every time we kind of go. The first thing we do in our meetings, our calls, is we go around the room and share wins. And I literally get chill bumps every time we do it now because, I mean, people are making their first sales ever. They're running their first webinars. We had a few people that posted their first YouTube videos, and that's a huge hurdle for a lot of people. So it's pretty exciting just hearing that stuff. And it just makes my day every time we have those calls. So one of our standout members, Lane, and he teaches baseball players how to improve their swing. And this goes along with today. He launched some ads recently and he's getting a 7x return on his ad spend, which is insane. And so now he can really scale that because he's got a lot of room to scale there. So I'm pretty excited to see where he goes with kind of scaling those campaigns. So that's pretty exciting. Let's talk about some GHL and school updates. Did you see any that I might have missed?
I mean, not nothing on the GHL side. I mean, I know there's a commitment on their side to do it. I mean, obviously, what you're going to share here about your meeting and so forth. So I know there's a commitment there, and I know they just want to have an amazing platform. So I do expect some big things coming, hopefully in this year for people that are running GHL communities. Skool, obviously, they're always adding something new. So as we get into the details of it, I'm anxious to see how quick they're going to get these releases out because these got 2 big ones coming that they're going to share. So
Yeah. So exciting opportunity came to me recently. So the director of product at GoHighLevel, which is HighLevel's answer to Skool, reached out to me because he saw one of my videos where I, not talking bad about him, but just being totally honest with the way I feel about where GoHighLevel communities are and everything. Reached out to me and wanted to book a call. So we had a call yesterday. He showed me some of the new features that are actually coming out. They're actually about to release the new version of their app. So they will have like the community switcher, which I've been waiting for a long time. They're also going to be coming out with the ability to have multiple different pricing price points, I guess, for your communities. Before, you could either choose annual or monthly. And so now they're going to be coming out with the ability to have both of those at the same time, which is, just the foundational things that I've been wanting them to release. I think they're coming out with those very soon. And then I'm going to be consulting with them on just different ideas on how they can improve the software. So, I'm very excited about that. I root for HighLevel. I'm a huge HighLevel fan. I'm also now a very big Skool fan. So it's going to be hard for them to catch up. And I'm not moving or anything, but I do want to help them succeed. And I think it's a good opportunity for both of us. So that's pretty cool. As far as the Skool's releases, there was nothing new this week. Instead, they kind of, on the Skool news, they talked about the subject that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to go in a little bit deeper. They kind of just gave you some high level tips and stuff. And there's actually a course kind of going over. They built it yesterday, essentially, inside of Schoolers community, where you can kind of see what they talked about yesterday. So nothing new, but they're about to release the native live streaming, which is pretty exciting. I'm hoping that they give you the ability to live stream on other channels like YouTube and basically replacing what we're using right here. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I hope that's happening because that would be super awesome. And then it's going to be available on both of the plans, either the hobby plan or the bigger plan. So that's pretty cool. And then they're also going to be releasing subscription-based courses. So you can actually make your courses subscription-based. Cool. So what happened this week in Elite Boot Camp? So it's very aligned with what we're talking about today. This week, our boot campers, which is our annual members, we're going through an 8-week boot camp where we're implementing all the steps in our process. And this week, we actually had our members launch their first ad campaigns. So we'll show you a tool in a second that we use to actually help them create what they're going to be promoting. And then they actually launched their first ad campaigns, which is super cool because a lot of people are really scared about ads. They think it's just burning money, when in fact, the way you should be looking at it as an investment. And we talked about, what the rate of return on an actual investment is. And we talked about, S&P 500 is like investing, and you get like on average 8% return every month or year. Real estate, I think you'll probably, like you said, you'll disagree with this, but anywhere from 10.6 to 11 point something percent per year. Do you remember, Jeff, what the average rate of return on a Meta ad campaign is?
Yeah, it was like 350% or something like that.
371%.
71%.
So every dollar you put in, on average, U.S. advertisers are getting $3.71 back. So I would take that investment over 8% return any day of the week, right?
100%.
Now, can you burn money and lose money? Yes, absolutely. You got to have the funnel that's working. You got to have a good offer, those kind of things. But it is a good investment if you have all the pieces in place. Next week, what we're going to be talking about is conversion events. Pretty excited about this one, Jeff, because this is really the way to take your community from, doing one-to-one sales on phone calls to really scaling the revenue, scaling the sales, doing one-to-many conversion events. So we're going to be showing them how to set up their first conversion events. And these are things like promo cycles, webinars, and workshops, and how to run those in the community to scale one-to-many. So pretty excited about that one, Jeff. Anything?
I'm stoked for that. I mean, at the end of the day, again, yes, you have to have traffic, you have to have people in front of you, but if you're not generating sales, you're not generating revenue, then you don't really have a business. You probably have a hobby. So I think that, again, this is another key element to the whole program. And I did want to say, one of the things that I really feel like when you talk about a lot of times paid ads. I think people get this idea that you have to have these massive budgets that, have to
Mhm.
spend thousands of dollars, and they're so scared. And I mean, the way it's set up, you literally can start for $5 a day, $10 a day. And, I mean, there's zero judgment towards anybody if they're budget constrained. But, I kind of look at it like if you can't at least invest $5 or $10 in your business every month, then you might need to be doing some other things. Just maybe with your time to get to a point to be able to invest $5 or $10 into your ad budget. So
Mhm.
I think the things you taught yesterday are awesome because it's not requiring people to go and invest thousands of dollars. They literally can just get started with a small budget, and that can have a massive, basically a massive return for them. Like you said, it'd be 371%. And if they can just $5-10 and they get one or two new clients from that and just reinvest some of those profits, they can scale up. So I think yesterday we probably helped a lot of people kind of change their mindset and fear a bit about it. So that's what I was really excited about when he was speaking about all paid ads and how they can have massive impact. So anyway, just want to share that with people that don't need a big budget, just have a
Yeah,
budget.
exactly. Well, cool. So let's get into today's discussion. So, how to grow your communities, and we'll talk about how to grow. These tactics that we're going to talk about today are universal. So, I don't care if you're on Skool, I don't care if you're on GoHighLevel, Circle, whichever platform you're on. These strategies are going to work for you no matter what the platform is on, and they're going to be the ones that we're going to talk about as the ones that's working for us. The ones that the very top of the cream of the crop communities online are actually using to grow their communities. So first thing that we need to get into is the community growth formula. So to grow your community, there's two main factors, and I'll share my screen here, Jeff, for a second. So you've got traffic, so the number of people that are visiting your About Us page, and then you have your conversion rate. So the two factors are how much traffic you're driving, right? And then how well your About Us page is converging. And that's kind of what they talked about on Skool News. This is nothing special or new, but basically to grow, you first want to really focus on your traffic, right? You got to figure out how to drive traffic to your community. An example of, let me just go back to this for a second. So this is our free community. And so we're getting 1,300 About Us page visitors every in the past 7 days. And then we're converting 22.63% of those into free members. So that's about 300 a week. And this is a strong conversion rate. So on average, if you're, I think they were saying that a strong conversion rate for a free community About Us page is around 20%. A strong one for a paid community is around 4%. So ours is pretty strong, and we'll talk about like what we're doing to actually make that happen here in a second. But that's kind of the formula. Okay, so it's traffic and then conversion. Okay, now let's talk about the one thing that I believe will help you to grow your community the fastest. Okay, so what I believe, I don't really believe that promoting your community. Now, I know Sam's probably going to debate me on this and some of the big school games winners. But if I was starting from scratch, I would never try to promote a community. I don't think people are super interested in this community. I might be wrong, but I believe they are way more important, way more interested in lead magnets. And a lead magnet could be something that's more of some type of utility based thing like a cheat sheet, checklist, scripts, plug and play templates. AI prompts are super hot, custom GPTs, free mini courses. Those are the kind of things that we've always used to promote, or we've always promoted to get people to join our community. And so basically what we do is we mention those in our social media, YouTube videos, to our email list. We talk about the lead magnets, and then we have a resource hub inside of our classroom with all of our lead magnets in it. So all of the lead magnets that we promote in the YouTube, social media, email, all live within our classroom where they can access those by joining our free community. So that is what I believe is the way to grow a community, especially when you're first getting started and nobody really knows you. Okay. Some of these bigger ones where they've established the know, like, and trust factor, sure, you can just go straight to the community, right? But a lot of us don't have that what's the word, luxury. Just to prove that this works, Jeff, I think we have a decent amount of traffic there, 1,300 about
Absolutely.
page visitors. We've got a very high conversion rate. And like I said, all we ever promote is our lead magnets, either our cheat sheets, checklists, or our free community launch secrets course. So anything to add there, Jeff?
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of people, if you take a step back, if you have a big brand, I mean, Tony Robbins, he could start a community tomorrow and he's going to have,
Right.
whatever, hundreds of thousands of people because he already has a brand, right? But when you're starting out, I think that this is absolutely the best way to do it is to use some type of lead magnet because at the end of the day, people want to know that if I come into this community, what's in it for me, right? The most popular radio station in the world, right? What's in it for
Mhm.
me? WIIFM. And so if you have basically a lead magnet that is going to help them solve a problem or give them a bit of hope or just give them the right direction, help them with the bottleneck, that's what people are truly wanting. And that
Mhm.
to me seems the fastest way to grow your community is give something of real value that makes them say I have to have it, and they join your community. So I think that is by far the best tactic. And what it is for each individual probably depends a bit on their niche and who they serve, because I know we've tried and tested some different ones. We've had success with most of them, but every niche is a little bit different. But bottom line is give something of real value that's going to help somebody. And guess what? They're going to have a desire to come to your community. So kind of
Yeah.
common sense, but to me, it makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, just these little tools that help them execute a step in your process, a mini step in your process, a whole lot faster and easier. I mean, that's what people want. They want to be able to do things faster and easier. Like I always think about every time I build a lead magnet or add something to our course, how can I help our people do it faster and easier? And to show an example of that, Jeff, I actually have the tool that we've created to help our clients build these lead magnets. Not only build the lead magnets, but also actually brainstorm the lead magnets, create the lead magnets, and then create all the promotional material that they need to do it, all the emails, the social media posts, and the ad copy and creative. So check this out. This
So
is an
crazy,
example
man.
we ran through yesterday when we were walking through our execution in the boot camp. So basically, first of all, we answer some questions here, and then it comes back. It gives us some ideas for different lead magnets, and then we just have a back and forth conversation. And this is what we came up with ultimately. Let me scroll down here. Our Skool community launch planner, which turned into our Skool community launch kit. So this was a planner. It was a daily planner, 10 days to execute this. But I tweaked it a little bit and came up with the launch kit. So that was the final lead magnet that I came up with back and forth with the chat GPT. And then it wrote my ad copy. So this is the exact ad copy that I would use to promote it. It
It's
gave
crazy,
me
man.
different angles that I could use in my ad copy and on my creative to actually create it. And then it also created some short form reels for me, Jeff. It
This is
created
this,
carousel
this is
posts.
insane, man. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
So these are some of the tools that we've built to help our community members build their lead magnets. So that is kind of the first thing that I would have in place to help me to grow my community. I would brainstorm some lead magnet ideas. If you need some help and you want to join our elite program to get access to this tool I just showed you, please let us know, or I'll drop a link in the description where you can join and get access to that. But basically, you want to plan out some good lead magnets. Make sure they're good. Don't just, I mean, if you look at them and like, oh, yeah, would I, and you don't, it's not a hell yes that I want that, then it's not good enough, right? So make it good. And then that's the thing that you're going to promote on YouTube and social medias and all the other places. And I want to give you guys the next thing that we want to talk about is now that we have that lead magnet, let's give you some quick win strategies that you can use to promote that lead magnet and then get your first or next members. So the first one's pretty obvious, just adding a link to your, I would actually promote like my free course or my community in my bio on Instagram, all the social media platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, any of those places, just add a link to your community, but have a hook for the lead magnet, right? So that's kind of the little differentiator of just having a link to your community. I would have a hook, like for us, our free course hook is, launch your brand new community and get your first 100 members in 10 days. So that's the hook. And that is and then the link is going to my community where they can join and get access to that course. So that's the first thing. It's very easy to do. You could all do that today, and that could bring you some new members. Next thing I would do is, if you have an email list, I would send a short email that has a compelling hook, just like I just mentioned, and then some bullet points on what the lead magnet is going to help them do, like the benefits of the lead magnet, and then a call to action to either reply to the email, and that's going to help you with your deliverability later on, or you can have a link to join the community to actually join the community to get access to the lead magnet. Jeff, I think one of the can you drop our elite link into chat? I think somebody, or into the chat in here, comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the third one is to make a social media post promoting the lead magnet. So I'll show you a little bit of an example. So this is a post that I did a while back on my Facebook profile. And basically this was promoting a lead magnet, which was ChatGPT prompts that helped them create 12 months of client getting content in less than 2 hours. And this thing generated, and I got them basically to comment below if they want it. And you can do this same kind of tactic on Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you drive traffic from. And you can see this is 687 comments. Now, half of that is me responding to people, but the other half is people that commented below that they actually want that thing. And now once they actually comment, I can reach out to those people in the DMs. And now I've started to build a relationship, a connection with those people. And then I can, make sure that they want the actual lead magnet and then send them to my community where they can get access to it. Also, since I'm now in conversation with those people, I can work to transition that conversation into a booked call potentially that could turn into a client, could turn into a paid member. So that's just an example of the type of post that you can use on social media to drive people to your community and get your members from the lead magnet. So the three tactics were, the quick win tactics were: add a link to your community, but have a hook for the lead magnet in your profile, in your social media profiles, your YouTube profile, send a email about the lead magnet, and then do a community or a social media post promoting the lead magnet and getting people to comment below, and then DMing those people to follow up with them with the link. Anything to add on any of that, Joe?
Just real quick, Ron, if you would go into the private chat and grab that link and post it. It's not letting that link go into the comments. And I know we had some people requesting the link for Elite, so it's not posting through mine for some reason. Not sure why it's doing that. But what I will say is that, I love the point that you made about having, a hook that just shows one of the benefits in those posts. I think a lot of times people just put, like, join my Skool community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you made a really valid point earlier, which is that it's not that community is not valuable. I don't know that it's enough excitement and kind of a desire for people just to be a part of another community, because they look at it as something else they have to do, right? Yeah, we look at it as work. So if you use a hook and you really kind of sell that benefit of, hey, get XYZ tool, or get this prompt, or get this, checklist, and that when you do it that way with that hook, and they realize, ooh, I want that, that's a desire point where they're like, ooh, that's going to help me, I need that. That's what's going to drive them to join the community. So I think there's a really valid, just a massive nugget there that I hope all of you here are listening to, because you will see a lot of profiles. They'll just simply say, they'll put their Skool community or join my Skool community. And that's great. If you have a big brand and people know you already, that might help. But if you're really trying to get maybe some cold traffic, people are new to you, give them something of value, because people pay for what they want is results, right? They want either faster, cheaper, or easier. And so if you have those little hooks with those little 3 items, it's either faster, easier, cheaper, giving somebody a result and a benefit, guess what? They're more likely to join. So I would highly recommend everybody, add that little nugget you just mentioned. So
yeah, so now let's get into the most effective growth strategies of the top communities out there. These are the Skool Games winners. These are people that are absolutely crushing it out there. And these are like the top strategies that they're using right now to grow their communities and, build those big MRRs. So the number one growth channel of the top Skool communities is YouTube. Okay, so basically the idea here is, creating content that is solving your ideal customers' problems. Again, the way that we do it, and I don't have a big YouTube channel, but we've been able to leverage YouTube to grow our community, to, build our MRR pretty good. And so what we're doing works. We're not expert YouTubers. We're not trying to go viral. And we can get, with a small audience, we can still grow our communities pretty decently, right? So what we do is we usually have a lead magnet that aligns with whatever topic of our video that we're talking about. And then we'll show that, or have a call to action inside of the actual video itself and say, hey, if you'd like to get access to this free cheat sheet, I'll drop a link in the description where you can join our free community and get instant access. So you can go back to my videos, and I do it all the time. So I include that link to get to the community, and have the hook there for the lead magnet in the description, the video description, the pinned comments. And then I also, like I said, mentioned in the video. So YouTube, #1 traffic strategy. I believe that everybody here should have a YouTube video or a YouTube channel. Another thing I wanted to show that we use inside of our community to help people with their YouTube. So let me share my screen here, Jeff. We've actually built a content management system. And so we have a couple of different AI tools that will help you to come up with topics. And then we show you a strategy on how you take that topic and then you can expand on it using something like Loom, where you just go and you turn on the camera and you just brain dump. You don't have to filter yourself or anything like that. Talking about what you're going to talk about in the video, you drop the transcript here and you submit your idea. Once it's in the idea bank, we have, let's see, let this load. You can actually open our script writer. So this takes it right to the Claude project that we've created to actually write the YouTube scripts. So we can take that idea. This is an example of what we've done previously. So basically we paste in the topic idea, like the title, and then we paste in the transcript here. And then this writes us a full script, YouTube script, ready to go. And so basically we just paste in the script here. We change it from idea to script created or script review. We review the script, and then we have a whole queue that helps us to manage and organize that process. So that's a tool that we've created for our members to help them to do YouTube, right? Again, we want to help people do it faster, easier, with less effort. So that's one of the tools that we've created for that. The next, that's #1. YouTube's #1. The next biggest channel, traffic channel for the biggest communities out there is Instagram. So same as all the other social media channels, add your link to your bio. And then again, you can use Reels to promote your lead magnets. You can use carousels to promote your lead magnets. You can use stories to promote your lead magnets. Now, don't just always use lead magnets. You don't have to be, that doesn't have to be the call to action 100% of the time, but, promote your lead magnets occasionally, and then basically tell them again to comment below if they want it. You reach out to those people in the DMs, you start a conversation, you send the link, and then also you can potentially turn those into book calls. Anything to add on these first two strategies, Jeff?
No, I mean, you've covered them really well. I would just say that, a lot of times it just depends on your audience and where they hang out. But I think that your most important point is that everyone should have YouTube because it's search based. And so when you're speaking about your topic, people will be searching for it, and that's how you're going to grow that. Sometimes, and I know you're going to get into LinkedIn and other ones. So sometimes other platforms are better based on your niche. But 100% agree on YouTube. I actually have been working on my channel, so that'll be coming very, very shortly as well. So again, I like you say, we eat our own dog food. So my YouTube channel will be up as well. So definitely recommend that be the primary focus at first, and then these other channels you're speaking about now.
Yeah, and I'll show you something we have in Elite that now this is a special one. So if you guys are interested in this, if you join today and you reach out to me and tell me you joined today, I'll give you access to this. So we were given a course by Ben. I believe Ben's last name is Ewert. And he recently started a brand new Instagram channel, and he created this strategy where he grew I think he has like 5,000 followers now, but he generated 2,000 followers in 3 weeks. And he took his email list and his community from 0 to 1,000 members in like 3 weeks using this strategy. And so he gave us this course, which is awesome. Really cool guy. He actually does editing for Evelyn Weiss. So our community members now have access to that to help them with their Instagram stuff. So let's head back. Okay. So those are the top two strategies, traffic strategies that the top communities are using. And you can use Facebook is very similar to Instagram. So you can leverage, those kind of posts that I showed you earlier. You can do reels, those kind of things to get people to comment or DM you if they want access to the lead magnets. And then again, sending them to the community where they can get access. TikTok, this one was pretty interesting. It seems like the big tactic on TikTok is actually going live, doing live streams. Apparently that works really well on TikTok. I'm not a TikTok expert, but maybe we should add that to our stream here, Jeff.
Maybe. I don't even have a TikTok, but maybe
I'm
I need to
actually
launch a
logged out
TikTok.
Mine got hacked, so
Oh,
I can't even
no.
get into my TikTok. But some of our members gave us some strategies or some tips on how I might be able to get it back, so we'll see. But yeah, so daily live streams on TikTok. Yeah, we got Red Lotus. That's Antoinette, I believe.
Yeah.
And she does live streaming, I think, on TikTok, and she does really well with that. So again, during that live stream, just like I've been showing you, I mean, I'm kind of we're eating our own dog food here on the actual live stream. I'm kind of showing you some of the cool stuff that we've got in our paid community so I can generate interest and maybe get you to join. Okay. Just full transparency.
Yep.
And then TikTok, basically, I'm no expert here, but, bio links again, posts, and then native mentions of your community. That one seems to be the lowest on the totem pole of the top 4 strategies. So the top 3 are YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, from what I understand. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, that's what I took as well, that those are the ones. And again, I think that when you look at YouTube, it's search based. You can't get people to necessarily, you can't do there's not a messaging feature like there is on Instagram and Facebook. So I think that's part of the reason those ones work pretty well, is that you can get people and start creating some conversations and make it more personal and invite them in. Obviously with YouTube, it's just kind of more of a broader approach. So I would just say, if you have a lot of followers, or if your perfect clients are on Instagram, then focus a bit on Instagram. If they're on Facebook, focus on Facebook, and then try to create those conversations, and ultimately tell them that, hey, I got these great lead mags, I got this great community, and invite them. So, and then I think the last one was LinkedIn, right? They spoke a little bit about that. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn? I know we've been using a little bit of strategies there.
I mean, I've tried. I haven't gotten it to work for me, but that's because I haven't spent enough time to kind of really focus on it. And that's one of the big things too, is like, especially when you're getting started, just focus on one thing and then get really good at it, and then you can expand to other things. In our program, we kind of suggest starting with YouTube, because that's like a long form format, and then from that long form format, we have tools that will help you to repurpose that into the other stuff. So it's much easier to start with a longer form and then expand out by repurposing than it is to, in my opinion, start with short form. And I think long form, people get to spend more time with you, so it builds that know, like, and trust a lot faster.
Exactly.
So, all right. So we talked about the top communities out there. Now let's talk about what's working for us and the tools that we're using to execute this stuff a lot faster. So like I said, I've never really promoted just the community. I always promote lead magnets. That's how I've grown my community. Our 2 best lead magnets right now are our Skool versus GoHighLevel cheat sheet, our community launch checklist. So our Skool community launch checklist, our GHL community launch checklist, and then also our community launch secrets course. So those are our biggest lead magnets, and they've driven the growth of our community up to this point, right? And so our 2 main channels, as far as social media and driving traffic, are YouTube organic, so posting face to camera stuff, and also doing this podcast, which we started a few weeks ago. And then Facebook ads, promoting those lead magnets, and a little bit of Facebook organic. I've been a little bit lazy there. And then also our email list. And so that's exactly what we're teaching to our elite members. And I know it's, like I said, it's very difficult to get started if you've never done any of this before. So we developed a lot of tools that help people to do this. I showed you the content management system earlier. I showed you the lead magnet tool earlier that helps you to plan your lead magnets, build out the lead magnets, and then create all the promotional material that you need to actually promote it. So we've got a lot of other tools that are very similar to that. I did want to show you also, we run a very, very simple ad strategy, but it really, really works, Jeff. So this is our legit ad reporting. So you can see this is the number of registrants we're getting. This is how much we're paying for those registrations. So like yesterday was, or this is today. So yesterday was $2.30. Day before that was less than $2. And these are people joining our free community. And then what's even more impressive, Jeff, is how much we're paying for an appointment. So yesterday, if you look, go ask anybody out there what the benchmark that you're supposed to pay for a booked call. And they're going to tell you $200, $250 a book call. Guess what we paid yesterday for a booked call, Jeff?
That's absolutely crazy, man. I mean, $10. I mean, wow.
$10 for a
That's
booked call.
awesome.
And we did it the same thing the day before. I mean, and then a couple of days ago, $8. Now, some of the days, they're more than that, but on average, we're paying $22.77. And what are we doing? What are we promoting, Jeff?
Basically some lead magnets.
Some lead magnets, right? We get people into the community, and then we have a system once people get inside the community that works to book calls, and it works really well. So if you want to learn that system, then feel free to, join our elite community. I've dropped the link in the description of this video. If you want just some of the simple strategies to get your community launched, we got our free community called Community Builders. And that basically, sums it up for today. Any last remarks or any last tips?
I just say, just get to work, guys. Do the work. Go make it happen. Like take this input that we've given you and what Sam and Kirby put out yesterday as far as best practices, and just follow best practices. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Literally, people are already doing this. It's working. So copy what's working. And we've got a couple hundred members that are using the process, and it's working for them. So I would say just latch on to somebody who knows what they're doing and literally copy what they are doing. And of course, in Community Builders Elite, you could do exactly that. So hope to see you inside of either of the communities, but definitely come to Elite. You're gonna be very, very happy you did.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Hopefully you can take some of these tactics, these quick win tactics, and just do it. Just throw caution against the wall and see what happens, and create a lead magnet and go promote it today, and then report back to us and let us know how it went. All right. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.